Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? It's Leland here, coming with another Marvel Crisis Protocol video. And this video, we're going to be taking a look at Doctor Strange and his associate Wong here. Now, this has been an interesting one for me. I'm not terribly familiar with Doctor Strange outside of the MCU, much less Wong, but I really dig the model so far. I like these mystic rings that show up on there. I don't know what they're actually called. I'm pretty sure I've seen some people refer to them as something. They got to have a name. But the model itself looks really good. I've been really excited to see the various hobby projects that people have gotten done with these. Because obviously a lot of people have had them a little bit longer than those of us up in Canada due to whatever shipping errors there were. So let's take a look at it. And just as I'm opening this up, I just want to do a shout out to my local game store, Phoenix Rising Games. These models were provided by the store, so I guess technically sponsored here, much like what happened with the Ant-Man and Wasp package. So big shout out to Phoenix Rising Games. If you find yourself in the Niagara region, be sure to take a swing by there. Go say hello to Hunter or Troop behind the counter. They are great guys running that store. And yeah, just really good environment to go play at. So anyway, we're taking a look at the assembly here. Both of them look very straightforward and simple. I like the fact that the rings appear to be one solid piece there, aside from a little bit of backing. I wonder how they actually connect, though. You have to take a look at that. I suspect that they probably connect. Yeah, there's nothing else there. They probably connect via the cloak on the back. So we'll see that in just a moment. All right, first look here. Let's take a look at wonderful tokens. Really liking the art here. The larger, oh, these look like, yeah, these might be larger objective tokens. So we might actually have a new crisis in this one. So we'll take a look there. We got some hex tokens. We got some books. So I'm gonna have to take a look at see what exactly each of those have. If I had any complaints about the game setup so far, is that it's a very token heavy game. And without knowing what the tokens are, it can sometimes create some confusion. So we got the Master of the Mystic Arts himself with Doctor Strange. Solid stat line across the board, 3s and 4s for his defense. 5 threat though, so he is a hefty one with 6 health. But he's got some decent attacks here. He does have his typical strike, which gains him power, but he also has a push attached to that, which is really nice. The Sidorak is really cool. I like this ability right here. That if you hit them and you happen to get the wild, the crit, and the hit, you are actually inflicting the stagger oh no, instead of inflicting the stagger condition, they count as having activated. So that's really cool. That definitely feels like it's worth 4 power right there. And he happens to be the leader of the defenders here. So he does have an extra little the bonus here. So yeah, whenever one of your allies declares an attack, can spend a power. And if you get any of the 3 successes there, the damage, the wild, or I don't know what the I stands for right off the top. Oh no, sorry, that's physical, energy, and mystic. Wow. Okay. So you can choose what type of attack it is, which is excellent right off the top. And you can put hex on things. So yeah, cool. Yeah, so some really good stuff here. Yeah, so you got some healing abilities with Oster's Refuge. You got Hogarth's Hoary Wisdom there as well. So it looks like Doctor Strange actually has quite a bit of power attached to him. This is really nice. The Eye of Agamotto can reroll the skull, or no, modify and reroll skulls. So that's really cool. Not a lot of things in the game let you do that at the moment. And yeah. So okay, so some cool stuff there. Wong is very straightforward. It looks like. 2 physical defense, decent energy and standard energy and mystical. 2 threat, not a whole lot though with him. Looks like he can pretty much, yeah, okay. So not really a lot. He can gain a power by meditating. He can choose. So he's basically a battery. He can basically get power for himself and power for other people. And a little bit of healing there, so not a whole lot. And then he adds some extra defense to Strange, so it's kind of cool. It looks like they definitely want you to be running Strange with Wong, because it looks like there's a lot of extra abilities there that you get. In this particular game, considering you can run virtually any models you want, I don't know how much I like the idea of having 2 people so intrinsically tied together. I've tried that with Rocket and Groot. it kind of works, but I also kind of feel like they're almost just a 5-threat character, and with this, that becomes a 7-threat pairing right there. So, all right, we got the defenders, and we got the full list right there. So we got some more names coming that we can expect. Luke Cage, Iron Fist. I mean, that was to be expected right there, and some good company there with the rest of the defenders. And it looks like we have a crisis card. So we got a 17-threat crisis card, and this appears to be an extraction. So that's always nice to have right there. So that's what the spell books are for. Okay. We got ourselves a soul gem. That makes sense given the. Actually, no, I would have figured it would have been the Titan gem, but that could be my MCU knowledge coming through. And then we have 3 tactics cards. So some for the defenders, a couple unaffiliated ones, and these are always really nice. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into these too much because obviously, you know, this is more of a product model review as opposed to the game itself. All right, so let us take a look at the model, and there is quite a bit going on here. So we got ourselves the small base, the big base. So obviously Wong over here, and then Strange for those. And let's see. So we got Wong, and Wong actually looks super easy to put together. I don't know why the hand had to be its own separate piece, but it looks pretty easy to assemble. Got the head, the other arm. Yeah, Wong looks to be a breeze to put together the 2 separate torso pieces, but nothing too bad there. And the details look solid. I mean, it looks a little plain, but I suppose you could do some neat stuff with that. I have no clue what sort of colorization I want to do to it. I've seen some people do sort of like Bruce Lee inspired look. Some people have been doing like the standard green. I honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it looks like it's a nice, open, clean slate. I do really like the pose for Wong. He's kind of got that, that poised, ready to strike look, leaping down, or either leaping down or leaping up on the fire. A nice alternative to the tactical rock. So yeah, Wong kind of simple, but works. And then we have Strange right here, and right off the bat, like I said, I really like that this piece is one piece. That's going to make things a lot easier, because especially considering it looks like there's a couple other smaller pieces. It looks like Strange's collar right there. One of his hands is separate, the 2 legs separate. And I want to see where... Oh, yeah, so there we go. So right on the cloak, you can see the 2 little grooves. One right there, one right there. That's clearly where he's meant to sort of sync up with the rings. So that part has me a little bit concerned, mostly because I was hoping to paint this one, the ring piece, separate using the airbrush. So we'll see how well that churns out. I'm always a little concerned with that one, because once the glue gets onto the paint, sometimes it can ruin some paint jobs. But anyway, we are going to get these assembled and take a look at the final product. So we have Strange and Wong put together and painted up here. So we're going to take a quick look at them. We're going to start with Wong, just because he's a little bit more straightforward and easy to talk about. So he was a very easy model to assemble. There wasn't really a lot of guesswork there. And oh my goodness, just looking at this paint job on the camera, it's really bringing up all the paint streaks. From 2 feet away, it actually looks pretty solid, but whoa, geez. Anyway, his pose, very simple. The details are a little shallow. You can actually see where a lot of the shading pooled up there. Was a use of combination of contrast paints and regular layers, and there's still some work that needs to be done on Wong. Unfortunately, he's just he's looking kind of rough. Unfortunately, I didn't really realize it until grabbing him on the camera. But all in all, the model itself, very simple to put together. There wasn't really a lot of guesswork. I do like the fact that his pose is a little bit different than what we've been seeing with a lot of the other the heroes. It does appear a little bit more defensive and reactive as opposed to proactive. In a stage of going forward to attack. I do like the open hand there. Now that joint was a little bit of a pain to put together, trying to get everything to glue on. I have seen a number of horror stories about that one, so just something to keep an eye on if you're assembling Wong yourself. But aside from that, it's a very simple model. Not really a whole lot going on with him. Not really much to say outside of that. Very clean mold lines. The details are there. It just, not a lot going on. So anyway, let's get rid of him. The highlight of this box, though, is definitely Doctor Strange. The model itself, I really like it. I like this idea that he's suspended in these magical rings. But therein also lies one of the problems. And we're just going to zip around to the other side here. And you can see the buildup of glue there. And that's because he fell off so many bloody times on this one. The glue wasn't holding it. Eventually, I was able to get some plastic glue on there to keep him more secured, but unfortunately, it did ruin a bit of the paint job as a result of it. I probably will go back at some point and fix it up, just brighten it up. But in the meantime, unfortunately, you can see some elements where it got damaged, like along the ring there, some glue made contact and pulled some of the paint off, and it's unfortunate. I really like the rings. I think they're a nice feature, but the contact points on that cloak are just absolutely terrible. They're very shallow contact points. Getting them to fit in there just right is a nightmare. Especially if you want to do it after he's been painted, you really risk ruining the paint job on there. To the point where I've almost been tempted to throw him back into the soup just so I can repaint everything, because I like a much better effect on the rings without the damaged paint job there. The details on his face, again, really shallow. His goatee is barely visible on there, so really difficult to do. And for anyone paying attention, you notice that a bit of his sash is missing. And once again, it's because the contact points just aren't very good. So all in all, I like the concept and the idea behind the Doctor Strange model, but as far as the actual implementation of it, I feel that it's very lacking. It was not an easy model to assemble. It's not an easy model to keep in one piece. And unfortunately, to me, that ruins a big part of it right there. It's an unfortunate reality of the Doctor Strange model. Yeah, there's a little bit more damage along the cloak there, and a lot of that damage came as I was trying to glue Strange onto the rings, and using super glue. Eventually, I had to just scrape away some of the paint and use a plastic glue on it. And that's honestly something that never really should have been an issue, but unfortunately, as I said, those contact points are so shallow. So great implementation of it, or sorry, no, great concept, great design of it, but the implementation of it was just a little light. This one was actually a little heartbreaking because other pieces in the range of Marvel Crisis Protocol, they've been difficult to put together, but they've at least worked. This one is the first time I really feel like the design of the model, as far as how it gets assembled, actively kind of damaged a paint job that I was working on, and it is such a shame for an otherwise great idea for a model. If they had just done a little bit more with the contact points there. But anyway, there you go. That is Doctor Strange and Wong. They are, all in all, they are a great addition to get to your Marvel Crisis Protocol rosters. Definitely worth looking into, especially if you want to play the Defender. Strange is pretty much a must because he is the leader there, so you get your affiliation bonus there. But anyway, yeah, so there they are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, be sure to comment below, leave your comments, like, subscribe, all that sort of fun stuff. And as always, happy wargaming.